TCU and the Big 12 in general has a bit of a complicated history when it comes to wide receiver prospects. TCU in particular is who we're going to highlight. They produce some absolute gems in the college game, but they have a long history of those guys not working out in the NFL. Josh Doctson, Jalen Reagor, and Quentin Johnston are recent players that come to mind who were absolutely electric for the Horned Frogs in college, but their careers never exactly panned out in the league, and they were pretty big disappointments despite being first-round picks. This year, TCU has two wide receivers who are incredibly interesting yet polar opposite draft prospects. The more interesting one of the bunch is an absolute freak athlete who has been with the team since 2020 in Savion Williams. Williams does absolutely everything for the TCU offense and is going to absolutely blow up the Combine and Senior Bowl with his freakish athletic testing. Could Williams break the curse of TCU wide receivers, or will history repeat itself yet again? That is what we will be discussing in today's video. But hey guys, if you guys are new to the channel, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Also, be sure to check out my Patreon page, where for $5 a month, you guys will get exclusive access to my in-depth draft guide and big board with over 500 scouting reports and counting. It is some of the best work that I do on the channel, and I highly recommend checking it out if you guys enjoy my NFL content. Be sure to leave a comment and let me know which prospects you guys would like to see in a future video, and without further ado, let's take a closer look at Savion Williams. Williams has been in college for quite a long time. He has been on TCU since 2020 and really hasn't been much of a focal point in their offense. In 2023, Williams finished the year with 41 receptions for 573 yards and 4 touchdowns. His usage went slightly up in 2024, but his numbers still didn't really jump off the page. He had 60 receptions for 611 yards and 6 touchdowns. He is a player who, despite the lack of production, has some really high upside, and people are going to fall in love with the traits. The first thing that sticks out when you watch Williams on film is the absolute freak of an athlete he is. Williams was on the Feldman Freaks list each of the last 2 years, and he backed that up on the field. For one thing, he just towers over the competition. He is 6'4", 225 pounds, and is an absolute monster. He has exceptional size and length on the outside to be a big-time weapon at the next level, but the athleticism goes further than that. Williams was a basketball player and a track and field star in high school. He is rumored to have a 10-foot 6-inch broad jump as well as a 40-inch vertical jump as well. Those numbers are absolutely ridiculous. If you could construct a wide receiver in a lab, this would be the type of guy you would build. The numbers all look good on paper, but how do they actually translate to the game? Well, Williams has had absolutely exceptional quickness and burst off the line of scrimmage. He is super quick and super shifty. He has the ability to stop and go on a dime, and I think that helps him get open as a route runner across the middle. His short area burst is remarkable, and I think he can be a special type of player if he is able to develop properly. The other area his athleticism and basketball background help him is in the contested catch areas. He uses his big frame to box out defenders and win the 50-50 balls. He had an unbelievable 85.7% contested catch rate in 2024, which is absolutely nuts. He catches everything in contested opportunities and is so physical at the catch point. The other thing that I love about Williams is his elite versatility. He was originally recruited as a kick returner for TCU. He has played wide receiver since then, but 2024, TCU really found unique ways to tap into his skill set as an athlete. They gave Williams 51 carries out of the backfield, where he rushed for 322 yards and 6 touchdowns on the year. He has special teams, run game, and pass game versatility, and if he is utilized correctly, could be dangerous in the NFL. Williams is still a pretty raw prospect as a whole. The first area where I think he really needs improvement is in his hands. He is great in contested catch opportunities, but he has struggled mightily with drops in his career, particularly concentration drops. He has 15 career drops in his career, and he has to get it under control if he is going to be used as a wide receiver. Another thing that Williams needs to improve in is his release package against press coverage. He is a shifty route runner with good quickness, but he didn't really show the ability to really get off of defenders or force separation, and I think that will be an issue for him at the next level. It was a big issue on the tape that I watched, and it is an area that I definitely want to see improvement from in Williams, because you've got to be able to create separation, and you've got to be able to get open. I just don't think Williams has that level in his game right now. Savion Williams is one of the most fun watches in the draft class, but I think many people are going to overrate him strictly because of the potential. Production is simply more important to me, and unfortunately, Williams has not had it throughout his career. He's been in college for 5 years and only has 1,600 yards in his career, despite loads of experience. Don't get me wrong, he has elite upside, but he's still very much a work in progress and has a lot of room to grow as a player. It is a really solid wide receiver class, but I think I'm a bit lower on him just because I don't think he's got incredible hands, and I really think he struggles to get open and separate off of press coverage. He is my number 17 wide receiver in the draft class. He is a very good player. I just think he needs a little bit more refinement in his game. He is my number 84 prospect in the class. Williams is the one player in this class who I have classified as a weapon. He can play in the slot, he can play on the boundary, he can play in the backfield, he can play in special teams. I wouldn't even be shocked if teams tried to use him as a move tight end at the next level because of his athleticism. I don't have a scheme fit for Savion Williams because he can play literally everywhere in the NFL, and he's going to find a role regardless of where he is because he is so gifted athletically. A comparison that has made the rounds for Savion Williams that to me just makes way too much sense not to use it is Cordarrelle Patterson. Patterson is a player who has a very similar skill set, very similar frame, and a player who has played absolutely everywhere in his NFL career. He plays special teams, he plays in the backfield, he's played some wide receiver, and it took years for a team to really figure out the best way to tap into Patterson's potential. But when they did, he was one of the most fun and electric players to watch. I think Savion Williams will have a very similar trajectory in the NFL. Savion Williams is a versatile weapon. He played everywhere at the collegiate level, and I think an NFL team is just going to fall in love with the upside and potential that he brings at the wide receiver position. He is a super fun prospect, and ultimately, I believe that Savion Williams will be a top 100 pick in the 2025 NFL Draft.